Hello Alto Saxes, it's Mr. Cronin, and let's go through our concert F scale together. Now this is on the backside of your fundamental warm-ups number 2, the salmon colored sheet. Okay, now the first thing that we're going to do anytime that we're looking at a new piece of music is we're going to double check that key signature. So here we are, the key signature of concert F, and I see two sharps. They are F sharp and C sharp, and the starting note of this scale is D. So our key signature chant would be two sharps, F sharp, C sharp, key of D. Now, if you're wondering how did I get to key of D, you can always name sharp scales by going to the last sharp listed. So in this case, F sharp, C sharp's the last one listed, and going to the next alphabetic note name. So from C sharp, the next alphabetic note name is D. D is the starting and ending note of this scale. We can also infer off of this, if someone asks you to play a concert F, you are going to play the note D. That's your transposition here, okay? Two sharps, F sharp, C sharp, key of D. Let's break this down with our how to practice for band sheet, okay? Step one, always count it out loud. Tap your foot, use a metronome. Okay, now this scale uses only half notes, quarter notes, whole notes. I'm not going to spend the time to count that out loud for you because I think those rhythms are really simple. However, when you have pieces of music with more complicated rhythms, you want to make sure you're counting them out loud. And also, if you're concerned that you're not keeping your counting steady, then you want to throw a metronome on and count steadily, even the easy rhythms, okay? Step two, note name it out loud, and we're going to use a steady beat. Now, we're going to do this two separate times, okay? The first time we're going to do what's called the generic note names. So that means I'm going to say the letter name that I see on the screen, and I am not going to say the sharp or the flat or the natural. I'm simply going to say letter names. Now we know that when we go through scales, scales are masters of the alphabet, okay? So I could use my D to D, masters of the alphabet, to name my way through the scale portion of this exercise. But I'm not going to today. Instead, I'm going to read it off of the actual music, okay? So here's my handy dandy metronome. Okay, hopefully you have yours with you as well. I'm going to set mine on 60 beats per minute today. If you don't have a metronome handy, that's 1 beat every second. So if you have a clock with a second hand, that will keep a steady beat for you. If you go on Google and just Google the word metronome, a metronome will pop up in the Chrome browser for you even. So lots of different ways to find metronomes, okay? This one's set on 60 beats per minute today. Let's name our generic note names. Here we go. Ready? Name with me. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, D, F, A, D, C, A, G, E, D, and we're there. Okay, nice job. Let's pause the video at this time to give you an opportunity to practice that. All right, and we're back. So we've spent some time practicing what we call generic note names, no sharps or flats. Let's do this again, and now it's time to apply the key signature to the note naming. So every F will be named F sharp, every C will be named C sharp. And you can see some of these notes, I've given you what's called a courtesy accidental. It's basically a reminder, hey, look at the key signature. Some of them are marked that way in addition to the key signature. Some of them are not. The key signature has already told us every single time we say F, it will be F sharp in this key signature. Every single time we say and play C, it will be C sharp in this key signature. So let's remember those sharps. Here we go. Metronome is on. 1, 2, say the notes with the key signature. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, D, F sharp, A, D, C sharp, A, G, E, D, and we're there. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video again to give you an opportunity to practice that. Go through several times until you feel comfortable saying the note names with the sharps from the key signature. All right, everybody, and if you're back, that means you've spent some time practicing through and you feel really comfortable with your note naming process. So let's go back to our how to practice for band, and it says step 3, fingers and positions. All right, let's take it back to the scale and do our step 3. Now I need to make sure that when I'm playing F sharps, I know, is it a 4th finger or a 5th finger? Stop and think, saxophones. And if you're not sure whether it's a 4th finger or a 5th finger, you can always reference pages 46 and 47. This happens to be the trombone pages, but yours will look similar. Okay, it will have all of the notes for your instrument, and it will have all of the fingerings for them. So if you're ever not sure, find the answers in the back of your book. Okay, so there's the F sharp. Remember, is it 4 or is it 5? And here's our C sharp, and we have to remember that C sharp is not played with that 2nd finger, okay? C sharp is the easiest fingering on all saxophones, and that's the only hint that I'm going to give you about C sharp. If you don't remember that one, double check the back of your book, okay? So now it's time for note names with fingers. Metronome on 60 beats. Here we go. Ready, and D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, D, F sharp, A, D, C sharp, A, G, E, D, and we made it. Okay, so this is probably one of the most critical steps we can possibly have. Let's pause the video and give you an opportunity to practice that on your own. All right, and if you're back, then you're feeling really good with step 3, which is fingers or positions, okay? So let's one last time reference our how to practice for band sheet. Step 4 is silent play. Now, in video form, I'm not going to silent play along with you guys. I think that you can do that on your own. Just be sure that as you're silent playing, every note in this scale does get a tongue, and we always want to make sure that our notes are connected, and we're using a good embouchure, okay? So a nice firm embouchure, no bottom lip roll, and our notes are not but rather very smooth, very connected with our air not stopping in between, okay? So let's take it then to step 5, which is putting it all together. And if you have really diligently practiced all the other steps, this should go amazing the very first time, okay? So here we go. My metronome is on 60 beats. 5, 6, ready, steady, play. All right, great job. Now, if you're like me and you hadn't played up until that point, you did all that talking or whatever, like your reed probably got really dry. So be sure that your reed is really nice and wetted. If you've practiced through all your steps for success, the very first time should go really, really well. Just be sure that you're always playing with your scales with the proper key signature. This one, concert F, which for us is called a D scale, F sharps, C sharps, everywhere through the entire scale, through the entire exercise, because that's what our key signature tells us, okay? Keep playing every day that ends in a Y. Have fun, and I'll see you real soon, Saxes.